Court clears way for NFL's 6-game suspension of Cowboys Ezekiel Elliott. A federal appeal court has lifted an injunction that blocked a 6-game suspension for the Dallas Cowboys star Ezekiel Elliott, clearing the way for the NFL's punishment over domestic violence allegations, and likely leading to the running back's legal team seeking further relief. The 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans on Thursday granted the league's emergency request to set aside the injunction and ordered the district court in Texas to dismiss Ezekiel's case. That the three-judge panel voted 2-1 to back the NFL's argument. The case may not be done yet, and further appeals were possible. One of Elliott's representatives didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. The Cowboys have a bye this weekend, but if the suspension holds, Ezekiel Elliott would then miss the games against the 49ers, Redskins, Chiefs, Falcons, Eagles, and Chargers. He would be eligible to return in Week 13 against the Redskins. Ezekiel Elliott played the first 5 games while the case was in courts. Federal judge in Texas had issued an injunction that blocked the suspension last month, agreeing the NFL Players Union attorneys who argued that the investigation of allegations in Ohio and a subsequent appeal were unfair to Elliott, one of the league's standout running backs. The NFL countered that it followed procedures under the league's labor deal and that the union improperly filed a lawsuit before the appeals process was complete. The most likely destination for further legal challenges from the Players Union attorneys representing Elliott is with the Southern District Court of New York. The NFL filed in the federal court after Elliott's NFL appeal was denied by arbitrator Harold Henderson last month. A lot of people don't know who Harold Henderson is, but a lot of people like Tom Brady, a lot of other people know who that is. But a source told ESPN, Adam Schefter, sources, Elliott's lawyer have an opinion of still refiling in Dallas or fighting the suspension in New York, a decision they are discussing now. Elliott was suspended in August by Commissioner Roger Goodell after the league concluded following a year-long investigation. A year over shit you can't prove. A year-long investigation that he had several physical confrontations in the summer of 2016 with Tiffany Thompson, a white chick, his girlfriend at the time. I throw it in there because I'm starting to really see that this is what it's about. It's a white girl. We'll get back to that in a minute. Prosecutors in Columbus, Ohio, decided not to pursue the case in the city where Elliott starred for Ohio State, citing conflicting evidence. You hear that shit? Let's continue. Last year's NFL rushing leader. We'll get back to that. Last year, NFL rushing leader as a rookie, Elliott's legal team filed a lawsuit on behalf of the Eastern District of Texas before Henderson had rejected the appeal. The NFL had already agreed to let Elliott play in the opener before Elliott's request for an injunction was granted by the U.S. District Judge Amos Mazant in Sherman, north of Dallas. Henderson ruled against Elliott the same day Mazant, cool ass last name, heard arguments over the injunction. The NFL filed in New York court because it is the home of the league's headquarters and was the site of Elliott's appeal hearing with Henderson. In the Elliott case, league attorneys wrote to the 5th Circuit that the union's lawsuit had resulted in hopelessly doomed proceedings they shouldn't continue. All right? The NFLPA has argued that Mazant had jurisdiction because Elliott had exhausted his appeal Ezekiel, hold on. I'm trying to. That name is fucking hilarious. I might call myself Huggie Mazant. Anyway, appeal before filing the lawsuit with Henderson rejected request for the testimony of Goodell and Thompson. The Elliott's attorneys also say that the NFL violated the labor deal without withholding key information from Goodell and Ezekiel's representative. I try to be it's kind of like, they say read out loud, but this is just all one take. I could do like everybody else and just cut, action, chop, edit, redo it again. Like everybody else, they be doing like ABC, cut, and action. ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cut. But anyway, I'm off topic. I'm going to get into what I really want to talk about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting up talking about anthem protests. There should be a protest in the NFL for this situation because people don't understand that this suspension of Ezekiel Elliott, this man right here is every NFL player, every college player, every high school player, pee-wee football team, every newborn male that has a possibility of being an athlete in any sport, okay? This is every man, black, white, whatever. We could say that, hey, maybe this is because the girl is white and he's accused of beating her up. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm 50-50 on that. I real talk. I wasn't 50-50 on it because I was like, oh, well, they ain't gonna suspend him. And then when they did it, I got side. I said, hold up, what the fuck? Like, how you gonna suspend this dude? You ain't got a lick of evidence at all. None. The girl openly admitted, yeah, I lied. So what? Tell a friend, hey, I want you to lie for me because I really got beat up by somebody else, but I want to say Ezekiel did it. And the girl was like, no, I'm not going to lie for you. Then the other guys that was there that night, oh, Ezekiel never did anything at all. Police didn't do anything in Ohio. Nothing. He never been charged, never been arrested. Technically, he's never been questioned. They told him to send a statement. From what I remember, maybe I'm wrong about that. But he's never been arrested, never been charged. Nope, none. The NFL is just being a bully right now. And everybody should be thinking to themselves, I wonder what's going to happen when somebody accuses me of something. I wonder what's going to happen. So, the NFL needs to answer this question. If the girl said this on social media, is that breaking the NFL conduct policy? Or is it because the police were called? Technically, police weren't called. She filed a report. I could be wrong about that, but I don't remember, hey, the police showed up, Ezekiel beat me, and they didn't say, well, let's go arrest him or let's just bring him in for questioning. No, she filed a report. And if I can remember, I think she put up pictures first, and then next thing you know, she filed a report. See, things are orchestrated, but that girl does a sloppy job trying to get this man found guilty. He has no criminal charges. And I will agree. All this other shit you've seen, like the bar fight, which is no proof he hit anybody because nobody said he hit anybody at all. Those just rumors just start swirling. Oh, he did it. He beat up the DJ. And I'm like, dude, the DJ even said he don't know who else. Trust me, you think there ain't a camera in that club that could prove he did it? Only thing Elliott is guilty of is pulling that girl's top down. And I must say, and I quote from Ezekiel Elliott, me and that girl had sex later on. I'll agree. Ezekiel seems a little immature. He does. The typical young man, black man anyway, seems a little bit immature. But I must say this. Ezekiel's dad should have never had him living with this girl. Shout out to Chronicles. Oh my God, he gonna be fucking mad at me. I'm gonna put the link to his video because he opened my eyes to some things I didn't know. I didn't know Ezekiel Elliott and his girl Tiffany were living together. No man should be living with a woman at a young age. I've been there, done that. And when I look back on it, don't never put yourself in a vulnerable position with a woman living with her and you don't know who she is. But in general, no man should be living with a woman unless you're married. That's just my honest opinion. This is not about religion or anything. This is about the fact that if you are sure about this woman, be sure by marriage. And if you're sure by marriage, then live together. Date, do whatever you got to do, but separate your home. That's the only thing that I agree with. I think women and men should live together. But in closing, everybody in the league, this just may be you tomorrow. Over he said, she said, your career is in jeopardy. And if, for those that don't know, the NFL has a conduct line where right now 6-game suspension is an automatic thing for domestic violence. 6 games. Another one could get him 10 games and then a possible ban for a year. So the technicality of, let's just say he ends up in a situation where it's a fight going on, well, he can get a 10-game suspension or a possible ban because this one strike is already against him. And the court of public opinion don't matter no more. He could get this shit lifted, and the NFL, because the NFL obviously has gotten this wrong. They just don't want to be wrong. And they don't care about what happens as long as they do it because they care about the reputation of the league. And what people don't understand is you got this whole thing about, you know, standing for the national anthem or sitting and kneeling, and you know the sports politics has this shit. I don't mean to throw politics in here, but this whole political sports Hollywood, it's become very, very tainted. It's becoming cliche. Everybody's copying ideas, like, and I'll admit, I was very uneducated that the actual national anthem is a racist national anthem. I'm very uneducated because I didn't know it had more lyrics. I had no idea. I always wondered, why did the school system hide the rest of the lyrics that they didn't let us listen to? But all y'all players and NBA players, NFL players, you people, it took one guy to say, I'm going to do this. And then next thing you know, everybody starts saying, hey, it is racist. Let's pump our fists and kneel. Wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute, huh? So now it's starting to becoming like y'all just copycatting, dude. You really, like, have you not known this? I didn't really care to know because I don't really vote. I don't really believe in this country like that. I'm forced to live here because I've been here my whole life. And it's not like I'm like my entire life I've been knowing that America was built on corruption. A lot of this shit I just learned a few years ago. A lot of stuff I learned when I was growing up I didn't know about. You learn things. Maybe Kaepernick did just learn these things. And maybe the NFL players starting to catch on, hey, you know. But I feel like this. You guys have a flag on your uniform, your helmet. You play for the National Football League, an American football league that gives you millions of dollars, and you protesting? The ultimate protest is not playing football in the NFL. How many of you said, I'm not going to play? I'm not going to be on TV no more. I refuse to play for your league. I boycott your league as a player. That's the real protest. What, kneeling and pumping your fists? You're just playing a puppet. You're playing on the people's emotions. You got the white people, they know, how does he do this? And they're not just the white people. This is white people that believe in kneeling too. But overall, you got the people, I served this country, and you got these black people kneeling. And I'd be like, do you know you fought for the right for him to kneel or not serve, to put his hand over his heart? And do you know you saluted this, right? You know this is your point of making people the land of the free. Remember? That's in your lyric. Land of the free, home of the brave. Right? Isn't that not freedom to sit or not? Isn't it not brave to stand up for what you believe in? You know, it's kind of like, how dare you be a Muslim playing football? Or how dare you be a Hinduism believer, and come on, like, for real, it's the same thing. So he doesn't believe in the national anthem. You don't want to sing it. You don't want to stand for it. What's the difference? Being a Muslim is not an American thing. How many Muslims in the NFL? A Buddhist. How many Buddhist guys in the NFL who don't believe in Christian ideology? You can go deep into so many things that people don't believe in and you're not upset about. That's why I said a lot of this is a puppet show. I think all of this is a puppet show. Kaepernick is really not upset. I'm really hoping that this whole Zeke thing is just a puppet show too. This is a part of it. And coming from a Cowboy fan, I must say, Zeke, get that shit out the way and just keep going. I understand it's about your freedom. It's about your name. But your name ain't shit right now to public opinion. It just isn't. They could have kept that ban lifted, and then you still would have beat them in Supreme Court. They're still going to say you beat the girl up. People are saying it now on ESPN. Don't believe me? Let me show y'all. They're literally saying it right now. Now, yeah, a couple people be like, for accusations or whatever. Yeah, they get it, but let's just be honest here. Let me show you something. He will take this all the way. He won't serve the suspension until they rule on it. The 2-1 verdict means it will be heard because it was a unanimous decision. He will file an injunction with the Supreme Court, and they will allow it until it can be heard. He will finish this season just like Brady did. But that's not what I see here. It seems like the NFL is just trying to. So you're really, really proud to sue in the same court. Now it's time. But anyway, this is for everybody that wants to be a sports athlete. They put these rules into place, and then they're gonna put these. Because listen, they came up with this NFL conduct policy. They're going to come up with a policy where you got to stand your ass up and salute for the flag. They're going to implement these things. They're going to do a lot of shit. They've already implemented rules about, you can't tackle this way. You can't chop block. And the defenseless receiver, you can't just hit them in the middle of traffic a certain way. And you can't lean with your helmet. And running backs, you can't put your head down and go helmet to stomach or helmet to chest. And, you can't hit the quarterback. Hands to the face is not allowed. If you want to hit the quarterback, you can't put your fingers in his face, the face of the helmet, and they've kind of watered the game now as is. Bad enough you got like superstars like Odell Beckham breaking their ankles, and the Giants are not really competitive anymore, and you got this situation with Zeke. I mean, when you really look at the league, the best team in the NFL is the Kansas City Chiefs. Who's really what type of fan base do the Chiefs really have? Are they a phenomenal, huge fan base? No. Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, Raiders, Patriots, now that they're winning. These are like the biggest fan bases. The Redskins, these are like fan bases that people are really crazy about. They have a large amount of fans. Nobody really cares about the Chiefs being the best team in the NFL. Nobody expects them to go to the Super Bowl. That's not a real conversation. So when you look at situations like this, maybe this is a game. Maybe this is not real. Maybe they're just playing a game. I'm not impressed with my Cowboys team this year at all anyway. Not one game, not even the 2 wins are impressive to me. So technically speaking, I think as coaches, I think we need to find somebody as a coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator. I think everybody needs to be. I think we clean house and start completely over. You get you a head coach that has a team with an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, bring in a new identity, a new fire, a new dedication. You bring them in here. And Stephen Jones, he's done his job. Will McClay has done his job. They brought the players you needed. They're putting shit together. So, the Zeke thing, I rambled a little bit too long, but I say it again. This is about you as an athlete. This is you. This is your mirror. This is your reflection. Will you fight for Zeke? Will you salute Zeke? Will you support him? Your career may depend on it. Don't sit back and think this can't happen to you tomorrow. All right?